What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be going over the top 5 most OP players in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So we're going to be going over the most overpowered player per position. Apologies, lads, for lack of face cam, and apologies for getting this video out a little bit late and about my voice. I haven't been feeling well the last couple of days. After I recorded my 2 videos today, I decided to lie down for a few hours, and yeah, I think I need to record this one, the no money spent episode, and then just sleep for 14 hours because I just need to feel better soon because I'm still not in a good way. You guys probably saw it on the stream earlier. I'm not feeling well at all today. But as I always say, videos do not make themselves. So we got this one, we got one more. I'll be done in about an hour and a half, so it's not the end of the world. So anyway, in this video, we're going to be talking about the most OP players. This is going to just be the best players. We are going to be only talking about players that you can buy as well. We are only going to be talking about the guys that you can pick up on the auction house. We're going to be looking at one per position and an honorable mention at every other position, or at every single position. And value is not taken into account. Value is not going to be taken into account at all, unless it's like a preference-based thing where there are 2 players that I believe are dead heats, and the only difference really is that one of them is maybe, say, if it's 10 times, if it's 1/10 of the price, and they're basically the same in terms of level, then obviously that's where our preference goes. So we're going to start off with point guards. When we're looking at point guards, in terms of purchasable point guards, there are a lot of decent players. Like Big O has to be up there. Because Frazier can't be bought. He's out of the conversation. But for me, I think there are 2. There are 2. The guy that I would go as my number 1 point guard is quite obviously Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is most people's number 1 point guard. The guy has got 95 speed, 95 acceleration. He's got 92 lateral quickness. He's got an 88 steal. He's got 95 driving dunk. Yes, he's small, but he comes a half floor general, half dimer, go quick for his step. He can get basically every defensive badge in the game. Comes with limitless takeoff, which is important. Posterizer, which is important. Corner special difficult shots. Lucky number 7. Mismatch expert. He can get every single shooting badge if needed. He's also got base 14, which is not a bad release. Quick dribble style. So for me, Isaiah Thomas is like the no-brainer. He does everything. He is John Stockton from last year. He straight up is John Stockton. There is, like, we all remember how much I love that John Stockton card, but that is pretty much what Isaiah Thomas is. So a lot of people would have Oscar Robertson. I think he fits a niche. Sorry, no, not a lot of people would, but for me, if he fits the niche that you want to play, you want it for a point guard, I'm telling you, he is that dude. He really is that dude. But in general, I think it's a really close one between Allen Iverson and Derrick Rose. And I'm going to go... And also, if you're going to put Derrick Rose in, obviously you're going to have to put in Marbury and De'Aaron Fox as well. And if Freddie is a decent player, I'm going to go Iverson. Again, it's only going to be primary positions that we're going to look at here anyway for each of the positions. But for Iverson, he's got that 80 driving dunk. Or 85 driving dunk. He's also got that Trey Burke based on quick, which is unbelievable. His movement isn't great. Like, he's got his own dribble style, but his movement overall isn't great. But his shooting's elite. His defense could be quite a bit better. He can get exposed quite badly on defense. It's not Kyrie bad, but it's not good either. But I'm still going to put Iverson in as the second best. Because, well, he is just like a slightly downgraded Isaiah Thomas. But Iverson, I don't rate him for his price, but I also don't think he's bad. So if you're looking at my team right now, it's definitely not those guys. The guys I'm running with are Walt Frazier and Bob Cousy. So it's not like I'm running the greatest lineup in the world, but the guys I'm running aren't that far behind. So now we are on to the 2 guards. And for me, there is one very, very obvious player, and it's Kobe. I think it's a absolute no-brainer to Kobe Bryant's here. And with Kobe, you are getting an 83 3-pointer, but you're getting Kobe base, which is one of the best releases in the game. Good behind the back, but you're getting an 85 dunk, 86 lateral. You're getting clamps. You're getting a lot of good shooting badges already. Yeah, he doesn't get like Chef and can't shoot from Limitless, but still, not every player can. 88 speed, 80 acceleration, posterizer, Limitless takeoff, 84 speed with ball. He's got a 60 block, 82 steal, 86 lateral as well. Like, he's in general, the best 2-guard in the game right now. So if you're asking me like Vince versus Kobe, I think it's a, I'm not sure if Kobe is even a, or if Vince even is a 2-guard. Kobe, no-brainer. He's a no-brainer. But then looking at the rest of these guys, you've got Wade. Monte Ellis sucks. You've got Wade, DeRozan, who's not great. And then that's where you look at Donovan Mitchell. Where you're looking Wade versus Donovan Mitchell. And like, I think there are arguments to be made for both of them. I think Wade and Mitchell, definitely one of these two guys at number 2. So these guys would be, for me, the next 2 best. So for Wade, you're getting that extra height. He can still shoot it a little bit. Really solid defender. And half quick first step with the Pro 3 behind the back. And again, Wade base is pretty good. For Mitchell, you're still getting a decent release, but like Mitchell's badges are just way better. He's only 6'1", and he plays the 2, which is a bit of a problem. And he kind of forces you to use like a Walt Frazier beside him. But just like I do, like for me, using Walt Frazier beside Mitchell is good. But like Mitchell is like 25k. And if you're looking at Wade, like Wade is, if you are lucky with Wade, like if you are genuinely lucky, you are getting Wade for like 80k. And this Wade is actually not even nearly as good as this Wade. This Wade's way better than the other Wade. Like this Wade's is give or take over 100k. And this Wade with the half quick first step is huge. So he's not even a buyout the way that's good. So like in a quite even matchup, I'm gonna go for the card that is less than a quarter of the price in Donovan Mitchell. So now, the small forward position. The small forward position. This is going to be a close one. So if we're talking overall, Melo is the best. Let's just put it like that. So for me, this guy is no-brainer in LeBron James. LeBron's defense is incredible. 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, 91 speed, 91 acceleration. He released, it's really easy to green. Decent 3-ball. You know what? Barely decent 3-ball, but he can green, especially on next. He's got no catch and shoot, which is a bit of a problem, but he's got like 85 driving, like 85 lateral. His defense seems way better than these stats would suggest. For me, if we're talking overall, LeBron has to be in here. And LeBron's not cheap. Either LeBron, I genuinely think both LeBrons play the exact same in game, but LeBron, like I've seen LeBron sell for 300k. I get it, this is hollow LeBron, but over 200. Over 200k. Like, it's crazy how expensive he is. Like, I would not suggest for anyone to pick up LeBron. And then when we're looking for the other small forwards, like for me, just get Scottie Pippen. He's not that much worse than LeBron James. So then the next option, like Granger's pretty good. Vince is really good. But for me, I think the next, even Jimmy Butler is very good. But for me, the next best is Kawhi. As much as I like Scottie, I think Kawhi is just better Scottie. He had 90 lateral quickness. He's got like goal clamps, half off ball pest. He gets some decent shooting badges. Silver catch and shoot, 83 ball. He's got Ray Allen base. Kawhi Leonard's behind the back, which is really good. Also gets an 80 driving dunk. 79 speed ball is not terrible. And he's 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan. Like, Kawhi Leonard he's not cheap. Like, if you're asking me who's better value, Kawhi or Scottie, I'm saying Scottie every single time. Like, I still can't believe that I passed up on Kawhi for like 35k and thought, you know what, 35 is a little bit too expensive for him, and now he's another 20k above that. Like, I cannot believe that Kawhi is as expensive as he is. But like, Kawhi's elite. Kawhi is absolutely elite, lads. I don't care what anyone says. This card right here is one of the best. He's one of the best. Like, you can argue him over LeBron. You really can. Kawhi Leonard does one thing, like, does two things really well. He plays defense and he shoots the ball. And like, whereas an ML Carr and a Scotty might be slightly better in the defensive end, Kawhi is so much better shooting than both of them. It is not even funny. It is not even funny how much better Kawhi is than both of those guys at shooting the ball, which is something that is quite important. I was trying to get, I just realized not the full screen was, okay, there we go. That's just probably as zoomed as we can get. That Kawhi belongs in this. So then we're on to power forwards. And now this is where the controversial opinion comes in. So I'm not the only person with this take, by the way. I'm not the only person with this take that the best power forward in the game is Josh Smith. Josh Smith is scarily good for me. Like with Josh Smith, what you're getting is 84 speed, a really decent jump shot release. His upper is okay. Okay behind the back, but he's so good on defense. He blocks shots so well. His speed's unbelievable. Like for me, Josh Smith is the best power forward in the game. I sometimes run a power forward, sometimes run him a center. It all really depends. I am such a huge fan of this card. Like the fact is that I think this card might be better than Bob Pettit, which is kind of nuts because you guys know how much I like Bob Pettit. But like I've been watching. Again, I'm watching the likes of Splash play, and this guy he's just been so good. Like, if you can get his release down, this card is the best. He's the best, and that includes Anthony Davis. Josh Smith is the best. And if you even want to say 1A, 1B, Josh Smith versus Anthony Davis, then that's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that, but still, the fact that Anthony Davis right now, if you are lucky, you are getting Anthony Davis for under 300k. Again, 300, I reckon this price probably ends up at 350, whereas Josh Smith is like, what's Josh Smith, like 35k at a push, like 40k at a push, like 37k. Like he was up above 40k, like he hovers between 35 and 40. And the fact is that like he's like just over 10% of Anthony Davis. So even if you want to argue them equal, Josh Smith is in there just due to the technicality from the start of the video. A guy who's debatable is this guy right here. He's so freaking good. And I didn't realize how good he is. Like, I thought he sucked when I first used him. And then the more I use this card, the more I'm like, okay, yeah, this Rodman's good. If you can find a Blake with some good badges, Blake's pretty good. But Blake's not in that conversation with AD. I'm still, like, it all depends on what you need. Because Larry's really good as well. And Larry's technically like a lock-in. Whether or not he can be considered to be like purchasable, I don't know, because you have to get these freaking signature cards, which I get it from 2K. It's just not an event. But yeah, like I can see why people would say a Larry, but look, he has to be in. It's Anthony Davis. As much as I'm like, again, not the biggest fan of Anthony Davis, at that power forward position, he's pretty good. He's really good, as a matter of fact. Like again, he is the 1A, 1B with Josh Smith. He is the 1A, 1B. So he is the honorable mention. And he is the most deserving honorable mention, especially for this position. He's like, again, 79 speed. He's got 78 lateral, 88 driving dunk. Decent enough speed with ball. Steal rating's a little bit low. That's a bit of a problem. But again, AD release is pretty good. And he gets like offset shooter, silver catch and shoot, fade ace, corner specialist. So he's going to shoot the ball better than Josh Smith. He'll be better in the post. I just think Josh Smith is that little more versatile. And for some reason, Anthony Davis, despite the fact that he's got a 7'5" wingspan, they just shrunk 3 inches off his wingspan for this card. So, yeah, like, is it the biggest deal in the world? No. But would he be better with a 7'5" wingspan? Yes. It wouldn't be anything noticeably better, but again, I do think he is a 1A, 1B with Josh Smith, and it literally all depends on who you prefer. But Josh Smith, for me, is that little bit better. But I do think AD is... Like, as much as I would love to say that Rodman is better than AD because Rodman is cheap, Rodman's just not. Rodman, as much as I like Rodman, he's not in this conversation. He's not in the conversation with these two guys. Then we are onto the center position. And for purchasable centers, there is one that is so far ahead of the rest. It's Dikembe Mutombo. I think it's not even a debate. Dikembe is the best. 83 3-pointer, 64 speed, 64 acceleration, 75 lateral, a 94 block, a good driving dunk, good post game. He can mash people inside, and he can shoot the damn ball. Like, this is a easy to green release. Stash shot 17. It's not fast, but it's very easy to green. He's got sniper, which is upgradable, half catch and shoot, half corner specialist. He's also got a bunch of defensive badges, including clamps and goal post spin technician. This guy, like I said it when he came out, and if you guys did invest in him, there have been times where the Dikembe Mutombo has gone for like a stupid amount of money. Like I've seen the Dikembes going for over 400k. And I know that because I'm literally in a group chat of people posting the fact that they're getting over 400k for their Dikembes. Dikembe is so good. Like, if you use him right, he's not even close to be the best. If you just use him as an interior presence, he's not going to be that different than a Shaq or a Wilt. If you try to use him as a popper, he's going to suck. He's not a popper. He is not a popper. What Dikembe is he's an equivalent interior presence of Shaq, of Wilt, of like Kareem. He's an equivalent interior presence to those guys. He's equally as good. But the difference is that you can run a whole bunch of different things. Because if they decide to leave, like if you run like some of the cheese things like guard to guard pick and rolls, if you start posting up your point guard, like if you have mismatches, and I don't know, say your small forward is on their point guard, and you're running one of those bigs, they can just paint it with their center. He stops them from using Wilt or using Shaq the whole game. That is a big thing that Dikembe does. Dikembe is the best of them. So then there is a number 2 spot, and for me, like Shaq's pretty good. I think Kareem, it's no-brainer Kareem. The difference is that Kareem has got 95 stamina, whereas Shaq has 78, as well as Shaq has the broader player build, so Shaq gets Gatorade symbol in 2 minutes. Like, if you have the last 2 minutes of the game and you want a center to put in for the Dikembe Mutombo who's tired, yeah, you know what, put in Shaq. But, like, for the rest of the game, get in Kareem. So, Kareem is a decent free throw, decent mid-range shot, good post hook and fadeaway, where Shaq can't shoot the fadeaway. He's got the decent wingspan. He's 7'2", and he's got, like, goal post finition, half hook specialist, half dream shake, half back down punisher. He's got catch and shoot, which is pretty decent for mid-range shots. He's got, like, glue hands, post playmaker. And he's got half intimidator as well, which helps. He's probably the best player in the game at stopping mashing, but I mean, no one can really do it, but Kareem's probably the best for that. So I would say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the second best center in the game that you can buy. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. These 5 guys right here for me are 1 through 5. These are the best players at their positions as of the 11th of October, 2021. Isaiah Thomas, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Josh Smith, and Dikembe are the best at their positions. For me, the second best are Iverson. And you can definitely argue a lot of guys like Freddie VanVleet and stuff here. Donovan Mitchell, you can argue like Wade. Kawhi, you can definitely have, and then more honorable mentions like Vince Carter, Scottie Pippen badged up. Anthony Davis, I mean, I don't think you can really, unless you want to argue Larry Bird in there, I don't think you can really argue anyone else other than AD. And Kareem, I mean, it's Kareem versus Shaq realistically for that number 2 spot. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.